Are you sick of feeling like a loser every time you fail? How about I told you that failing isn't the end, but the key to your biggest success? In this video, we'll look at what Miyamoto Musashi taught us and learn how to use failure not as a hindrance but as a strong force that moves you forward. Step 1. Accept failure as part of the process. You shouldn't be afraid of or try to avoid failure. It's an important part of the process. Musashi's life was full of fights, both outside and inside of him. He failed many times before he became Japan's best swordsman. He learned to deal with loss by using it to get better at what he did and understand it better. Before you can be successful at anything, you have to accept that loss is a normal part of growth. There can be no progress without loss. Every time you fail, you learn something important about what works and what doesn't. Failure is how you start to build the toughness and knowledge you need to be successful. Musashi talked a lot about how important it is to keep going. He wrote in the Book of 5 Rings that defeat should never make you give up. Instead, you should learn to accept it as a part of the road. The ultimate aim of martial arts is not to win, but to defeat the weakness within, Musashi said. Knowing that failure is only a short stop on the way to ultimate success and being able to get back up after each fall is what it means to truly win. When you let go of your feelings of guilt and shame about failing, you free yourself. You stop seeing failure as something bad that will happen to you and start seeing it as something that will help you get where you want to go. The important thing is to see each loss as a chance to make your plan better, get better at what you're doing, and get closer to success. Step 2. Use failure to identify weaknesses. Being able to see and deal with your weaknesses is one of the most important things that failure can teach you. During all of his fights and duels, Musashi was always thinking about his flaws and working hard to fix them. He knew that becoming more self-aware and improving himself were the keys to his success. Failure gives you a chance to look at your work honestly. When something goes wrong, you should ask yourself, what went wrong? What did I do wrong? How could I do something different next time? This process of self-reflection is very important because it shows you where you need to improve. Failure tells you what you need to work on, whether it's a lack of planning, a knowledge gap, or it's an emotional weakness. Musashi had a planned way of becoming self-aware. He didn't use his mistakes as an excuse, but as motivation to get better. He didn't just look at what was going on around him, he also looked at himself. He paid attention to his emotions and thoughts and made sure that he was always strengthening himself physically and mentally. Failure can help you figure out how to be more resilient, improve your skills, or change the way you do things in work, relationships, or personal growth. This strong mirror shows you not only what went wrong but also what you can do to get better. Accept failure as a way to find your weaknesses and use it to help you become the person you need to be to achieve. Step 3. Turn setbacks into opportunities for reinvention. Being able to change and adapt to new situations was second nature to Musashi. He didn't give up when he failed. Instead, he used it to rethink his plan and get better at what he was doing. He found new ways to change and grow every time he failed or ran into a problem. Being able to change is a key skill for success. When things don't go as planned, most people give up or move back. However, Musashi's strategy was to use those failures as chances to start over. He wrote in his book, The Book of 5 Rings, that the key to success is being able to change your plans and strategies when you face problems you didn't expect. Musashi wrote, "You must know that there is more than one way to win. Giving up on your goals or dreams is not the same thing as reinventing yourself. Instead, it means viewing the problem from a different angle. A failure means that the way you're doing things now isn't working, and you need to try something different. Now is the time to change direction, improve your strategies, and look at your methods again." There are times when failure can help you think of new ideas and explore options you might not have thought of before. You can change how you do things just like Musashi changed how he fought based on what he learned. Failure can help you grow, whether it's by changing the way you run your business, picking up new skills, or changing the way you think. To stay ahead of the game and use every mistake as a step toward success, you need to keep coming up with new ideas. Step 4. Practice emotional detachment from your failures. Being able to emotionally separate yourself from both winning and losing was one of Musashi's most important skills. He knew that feelings could make it hard to make decisions and move forward. Especially failure can make people feel bad feelings like frustration, anger, and self-doubt. Musashi, on the other hand, believed that mental distance was the best way to stay clear and focused. It's normal to feel down or defeated when you fail. These feelings, on the other hand, can keep you from seeing the bigger picture and learning from what happened. Being emotionally detached will help you separate your sense of self-worth from the result. What you do after failing doesn't say anything about who you are as a person. One of the main reasons Musashi was so successful was that he could stay calm even when things went wrong. He stayed focused on his goals no matter what was going on around him or how he felt inside. Musashi's famous duel with Sasaki Kojiro is a great example of this. He stayed cool and collected, letting his feelings guide his strategy instead of clouding his judgment. When you take your emotions out of failing, you can deal with each setback with a clear head. Instead of focusing on the bad feelings that come with failing, you can think about what you need to do to move on and the lesson it holds. Long-term success depends on being able to handle your feelings well. Step 5. Leverage failure to develop patience. It takes time to be successful in work, personal growth, and other areas of life. It takes time, determination, and a readiness to stick with it. The famous samurai Miyamoto Musashi knew that to be good at anything, but especially at fighting, you had to be patient and ready to fail many times before you got it right. Long-term persistence became an important part of his outlook because of how his life turned out. We have to slow down, think, and reevaluate when we fail. We are not yet where we want to be, and that's okay. Setbacks help us remember this. This is actually where the most useful lessons are often found. If you try to be successful too fast or push yourself too hard, you might miss these lessons or not learn the patience you need for long-term success. Musashi didn't work on his skill because he wanted to be successful right away. Instead, he did it because he knew that mastery takes time. He said that in a hurry to get to the end goal, people often make bad choices and miss chances to grow. Instead, he pushed for taking the time to improve skills, figure out weaknesses, and make tactics better. He learned to be patient and careful by failing, and he saw that each step was part of a bigger plan to success. Being patient also makes us emotionally strong, so we can handle the ups and downs of our trip without losing our cool. When we learn to be patient, we can see the worth in the process itself and the small steps that lead to success. When we fail, we should use it as a chance to become more patient. Do not lose hope. Each setback makes us stronger, more resilient, and better prepared to face the difficulties that lie ahead. Being successful doesn't mean getting things done quickly. It means working hard, learning, and getting better over time. We can improve our chances of success and have more peace and understanding on our journey if we learn to be patient. Step 6. Shift your focus to the bigger picture. A famous martial artist named Miyamoto Musashi told us that when we fail, we should look at the bigger picture. It was known that he always stayed calm and focused, not getting upset about the results of a single fight. He instead focused on getting better at the sword and becoming the smartest and most skilled person possible. Even though he failed many times, Musashi never let one loss get him down because he knew that failure was only a small part of the trip. To be successful, you have to work at it over time, and each failure is just a lesson that helps you get better. Focusing on the bigger picture can help you separate your instant feelings of failure from the bigger process of growth. This will allow you to see each failure as a small part of your growth. Musashi knew that in fight and in life, one mistake doesn't make you who you are. Your final success is shaped by the things you've done, both good and bad. By shifting your attention from the short-term setback to the bigger picture, you give yourself room to grow, change, and finally get past any problem that comes your way. When you look at the bigger picture, failure is just a step on the way to the success you're meant to have. Step 7. Develop an unshakable belief in your ability to bounce back. Having faith in your ability to get back up is one of the most important things you can do to use failure to push you towards success. Believing in yourself means more than just believing in your skills or plans. It means having a strong faith in your ability to bounce back from setbacks, no matter how bad they are. It's clear from Miyamoto Musashi's life that being strong and determined can pay off. Even though he lost a lot of times, he always found a way to get better and come back stronger. His confidence didn't come from being perfect or being sure of success. It came from his unwavering belief that he could get back up after failing and keep going on his journey. This mental toughness was his secret tool, and it helped him become famous. When Musashi lost or had a setback, he didn't think of it as a lasting failure. He saw them as part of the way to mastery instead. This way of thinking helped him get better. He knew that the path to success wasn't a straight one. Instead, the trip was full of turns, bumps, and turns. Musashi became famous by being able to keep going even when things went wrong and get back on track. If you have faith in your ability to get back on your feet, you know that loss is not a sign of how good you are, but a chance to improve. When you have a setback, don't let it define you. Instead, use it to fuel your drive. Musashi was strong because he could separate his mistakes from who he was. He didn't think of losing as a sign that he wasn't good enough. Instead, he saw it as a task to be met and a lesson to be learned. You need to change how you think about loss before you can start to believe this way. See it as a stepping stone instead of something to be afraid of or let lower your confidence. You get stronger, smarter, and better at what you do every time you fail and get back up. Your toughness becomes the base on which your success is built. You also need to be kind to yourself if you want to build this belief. There will be times when you give up or doubt your ability to keep going. At these times, tell yourself that setbacks don't make you who you are. Musashi said, "Don't feel bad about what you did." Instead of focusing on past mistakes, see them as lessons that have helped you grow and have faith in your ability to get back on track. Sometimes it's hard to get where you want to go, and mistakes will happen. But if you have faith that you can get better, you will not only get better faster, you will also be able to move forward with more strength, focus, and purpose. You will be able to face future tasks with confidence and unwavering determination thanks to the strength you gain from each failure. Like Musashi, you need to believe that no failure, no matter how big, can stop you from reaching your final goal.